Google Plus users.
Awesome.
So we want to tell them about your event today, of course.
Yeah, LA Live.
Yeah, at LA Live at 11 o'clock a little later.
11 o'clock, yes.
Hey, for just joining us, it's Maria here from the FOX11 newsroom. And guess who's joining me? Jeff Gordon. Oh my God, he's like the awesomest race car driver.
Thank
the
you.
awesomest.
That's sweet.
Created a new word. But this is Google Plus, and these are the people that are hanging out with us today. And they are our vetted Plusers, and they wanted to get an opportunity to talk to you.
Very cool.
And say hi. And they're from all over the country.
This is a first for me.
Is so this the first?
Yes, on Google Live. That's amazing.
You're on Twitter. You're on Facebook.
Am.
So you're very in tune with social media.
Obviously, I'm out of tune with it because this is the first for me with Google.
This is actually relatively new.
Oh, good.
So
Thank you.
You're okay.
I'm not looking old after all.
You still have time to jump on and find us on Google+. But these are the guys from all over the country. In fact, Sudesh is from India. Justin's from the UK. Here, I'll just let you guys talk because he doesn't have much time. He's got to go to that event. So if you have any questions at all for Jeff Gordon, I know, Tom, you had some questions about the race car, or the race just recently getting rained out and all the crazy stuff that was going on.
Yeah, Daytona was wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I'm Tom. I'm from North Georgia. I'm up near Dawsonville. I think you know where that is.
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, absolutely.
Yeah, so got a question. What did you think about that car running into the back of the dryer truck?
Yeah, that was crazy. You know, it was sort of that perfect storm that came together because, you know, he had a failure on the car, Juan Pablo did, that sent him spinning out of control, and those dryers just happened to be there. I mean, what are the chances of that happening at that moment, at that specific spot that caused the impact? And anytime you impact, you know, whatever 100 gallons or how many gallons of jet fuel that were, you know, there in that truck to dry the track, and we use those things all the time, and they're essential to cleaning the track, drying the track if it's wet. And, you know, for something like that to happen was terrible. I'm just glad that nobody got injured. But, you know, I think also that it was a lesson for everybody as far as how we can be safer with it. And I know this past weekend they had things in place where if the jet dryers were out there, they were going to have a safety vehicle sort of, you know, leading or following so that couldn't happen again.
Okay. I
was impressed how well they did at getting that fire. That was a big fire. It could have been much worse, and so I was happy to see that they were able to get it out, you know, in the time that they did. And I know it seemed like a long time, but it to me, that much fuel, it could burn a long time with if they didn't have the proper you know, safety equipment.
And the weather was such a factor. I mean, that was the first time it had been delayed or postponed to the next day.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it worked out really great because, you know, it was Monday night, prime time. There wasn't a lot else going on. If we had been delayed on Sunday, we would have gone into the Oscars, which obviously that wouldn't have been too good for ratings. And so, you know, there was an incredible crowd. I don't know if everyone just stayed in Daytona or this was a new group of fans that said, hey, now there's seats available because people had to go home. I don't know, but we had an amazing crowd there, as well as I think one of the best, biggest TV audiences that we've ever had.
It was incredible. It was good. It was exciting to watch, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Does anyone have... I'm sorry I wasn't a part of it.
I know.
Blown engine didn't go so well for us.
Yeah, I got a really quick question. I mean, I'm in the UK. Obviously, you don't really get things like NASCAR or stuff broadcast much over here. But did you hear about the guy tweeting from the car that suddenly got loads of followers? What did you make of that?
Yeah.
Well, I find it interesting that Brad Keselowski that he had his phone in the car. You know, I'm still trying to get to the bottom of why he did that, but it certainly worked out great for him and for the sport. You know, drew a lot of attention, and with social media being as big as it is these days, you know, for him to have that opportunity of having a red flag, it was just such a coincidence of how that worked out, and then being able to catch a picture, have that period of time to be able to get engage with the fans and then grow his fan base that big and get the national and worldwide, obviously, exposure that it did. So obviously more guys are going to be carrying their phones with them. We're not texting or tweeting while the car is moving. It's only if a red flag happens.
That would be dangerous. Yes, absolutely.
Why have your phone in a race?
You know,
really, yeah.
I
I was curious about that one too. I don't know what the car was, what the phone was doing in the car in the first place. That was so weird.
Yeah, is that against the rules, or is there even a rule pertaining
well,
to that?
there are some rules about recording devices and things. Here's the issue that I think is going to come up here soon. We're unlike, especially you in the UK that knows about Formula One racing. You know, Formula One has incredible data acquisition and telemetry on board that's sent live back to the team. We do not have that capability. So anything that can capture any of the data and telemetry in an app, let's say there's a new app that comes out for these smartphones, you know, you could use that information for an advantage. And so that's the only reason I could ever think of anybody why they would have their phone in the car. And we're not hearing anybody address that. We're just hearing about the social media side. From the social media side, I think it's awesome. But it concerns me that, as to why we would have the phone in the car for any real reason, you know, other than that.
There probably will be some kind of rule or someone addressing that issue in the future.
NASCAR embraced it because they love the social media side of it, and they're really embracing social media, which is great. But yeah, I think there are other implications that could come from it.
Okay, unless you guys have one more question.
I have a question. Yeah.
Okay, Sudesh. Sudesh is in India. Go ahead.
Hi, Sudesh.
Yeah, hi. Even if you have a red flag, I think it's not safe to be tweeting on a mobile device, because you have to have all your attention on your racetrack.
Well, I don't totally agree with that. Just because I mean the cars were a long way from the fire incident that was happening, where there was any safety. With the drivers were out of the car. They're basically, you know, they just happened to stop the cars on the track, and so at that time there was no issues, no dangers. There was nothing they needed to be paying attention to. Or, you know, it was a long delay. I think it was like a 2-hour delay. So I agree if it's a caution flag and you're still communicating with your team.
Okay, sorry, yeah, caution flag.
Yeah, no, I agree. Caution flag, but this was a red flag situation.
Okay, red flag is a stop. Okay.
Here's what's going to happen. The second that somebody tweets or does anything with social media during a caution flag, the phones will be gone.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
There's no way that's not. Yeah, that's when something like what happened is going to happen.
Right.
You know, because of that. So I agree with that.
Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
That was
and Jeff
great.
Gordon, I know you got to get to another, but I really appreciate it. And of course, I'm going to get your picture so that we can tweet it a little bit later. Speaking of social media, you know how that is.
Of course.
And of course, for me, selfish reasons.